All right, part 5, take 1.
I'm loving the conversation. Aizo on the side told me that sometimes this conversation can get a little deep in terms of tech lingo. But I just want to say it's important for us to paint the context of where the internet has come from. I'm hearing the historical perspective or the historical birthing of internet, digital integration, digital and tech integration within the context of the +254, have that be Kenya. One of the importance of hearing about the history of something is because you understand the essence of change. And we're speaking with Alex on the side and we're saying, because we have been in the country from the essence of digital and tech being birthed in the country, in 2024, when we're hearing about AI, we're not scared about the jobs it's going to take, but we have an understanding, because change in its concepts, just the impact that digital can have. So my apologies if we get sometimes too deep on the tech, but I promise to make it layman. I promise to always ask it from the perspective of somebody who does not understand tech. Coolio, continue the journey with us. Alex.
Yes.
Personally, I'm loving this conversation.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you for
rich.
having me. Yeah.
Very rich.
Yeah.
There's something that you've shared about the emergence of chatbots.
Yes.
Within
Yes.
from Nairobi University.
Yes.
And when we say chatbots, you see in
Yes.
2024, it's a very different thing
Yes.
because it's automated and things.
Yes.
Then it's, let's say, WhatsApp.
Yes. Yes. So it's just a place where you exchange notes. There was nothing, there was no emoji or anything. Probably emoji, you'd kind of like put something, then it wouldn't come out the same way it comes
Yes.
out. The graphical interface wasn't there.
Aha.
Basically, it was a message box. I'll dump something in there, someone will dump something on the other side, and it wasn't as reactive as it is now.
Yes.
It's changed a lot. I think between 98, 99, 2000, a lot changed.
Yep.
Along the way.
Yep.
And you begin to see the advent of, hey, the power of technology in being able to connect people in the world.
So that's what this is doing
Yes.
for you in 1999.
Yes. Yes.
It's important to say that because we get to understand what's happening in your life.
Yes.
In context to this digital thing that it's new for you as well.
Yes. Yes. And the most amazing thing that happened also at the same time is there was the advent of offshoring.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. What that means is that you have someone in a different country do a job for you.
Oh.
Yes.
Fiverr.
Yes, yes. Fiverr is an example, yes. But you have a company like, at that point, Arthur Anderson was beginning to offshore. Other companies do the same thing. They had an offshore model in Kenya where they said, hey, we have these things for you to reconcile for us. Can you reconcile and give us the information we need?
Oh, okay. I need you to understand these Gen Zs that we talk about and
Yes.
job opportunities.
Yes.
So many of them.
Yes.
Currently, what they're doing right now, smacking on a VPN,
Yes.
applying for jobs using abroad.
Yes.
They use AI to do assignments for people,
Yes.
and they get paid in dollars
Yes.
sent to their PayPal.
Yes.
The beginning of that
Yes.
is this thing that you're talking about in
Yes.
1999.
Yes, there's a lot of offshoring that's happening now to India in the US.
Yes.
So what you do is that you take some of the back end stuff for someone else to do for it. By the time you come back in the morning, it's already been done. So that started a long time ago. And what was happening is that I think from a Kenyan perspective, it was more of a charity thing. We're not going to give you aid, but maybe you can do this assignment for us.
And we'll pay
By the
you.
time we wake up in the morning, at least there'll be something. So part of that class, there were people who were working in Arthur Anderson or interning, but what they're looking for is low-cost labor that can be able to do the work.
Oh my God. From a meta perspective, a lot of the blocking of negative content, and this has brought some controversy, I know, but it's just important. It is what it is. I'll say that a lot of the blocking of negative content is actually done offshore.
Yes. Well, it has to be done in the context of the environment that they're in. It has to be contextual. If you say something insulting in a different language, I wouldn't know if it's an insult.
Bro.
Or if you say a snide remark, I'm like, that sounds like it's okay if I translate it, but there's a way that you said it in the context, in that environment, that means a lot. That's why you have content moderators all over the world.
Oh my God, that is so powerful.
Yeah.
So content moderators based on a company that is global.
Yes. Yes. And I'm not speaking specific to this, but content moderation, there's a platform, there's a playing ground where everyone is supposed to abide to the rules. You should not break the rules. There are community guidelines where you sign off on. At the same time, you want to make sure it doesn't become an area where people are bullied, for example.
Yes.
Or proliferation of information that's not supposed to be there. So it's important to have the context. For example, if you say something in Rwanda that might be perceived as negative, only someone in Rwanda would understand the context of it. But if I'm looking at it, I'm like, what did they say? Just something normal. In your context, it's normal. In the context on that side, it might not be.
Wow. So from a tech perspective, with every new level comes a new devil. Basically, there's new challenges as you scale globally. And let me say this, the biggest aspect of the internet at this time that people were beginning to find out is that borders were being removed. Before, we're talking about going to Uganda physically. Now suddenly this element of physical borders, geographical borders were being removed by the introduction of this thing called the internet.
Yes. There was an aspect of globalization that was vilified at the beginning. But what is happening now with the internet, I can be here and I'm doing a job that's in New York. Still get the job done well. That's the most important thing. But the aspect of globalization is real. It's even going to be more real going forward.
I have very many friends who currently, right now, especially post-COVID, work from home and work from home for different companies that are not based within Kenya. So they're employees for international companies, but are not necessarily working from their country. You per se, I'm sure you can get some work done. And you're not in.
Yes, and I've been doing that. So I log on a little later in the day because of a time difference, and I'm able to still get the job done. The thing is, the physical borders are not going to be restrictions. I think what's going to restrict us is that if we don't jump into this new technology, we're going to be left behind. I'll give you guys an example. The Philippines has an interesting model, is where during their nursing program, a lot of the nurses end up doing NCLEX. NCLEX exam is one of the exams that's required to become a nurse in state of California. They've done that successfully. A lot of them are in the state of California as nurses. It's the same thing. I think we can tap into that because we are respected in the world, in Africa as well, because of M-Pesa and all the technological advancements that we have. We do not see that when you're in Kenya.
Because it's normal.
Yes. But what you do is that we have a talent pool that can be outsourced to do work outside.
I need to bring in the government again here. And I really pray, but I know people of authority watch CTA. There's nothing wrong with what Ruto is talking about in terms of exporting content, exporting talent. In fact, it is extremely commendable, and we need to push him to do more of that. However, it is the mentality of where he's thinking of exporting the content. He's thinking of house helps, he's thinking of low jobs in terms of, I've forgotten the politically correct word, so I won't even say it. But there's this new opportunity that you're saying, where you're saying, export by all means, but we can get the white and the tier one jobs because of our intellectual understanding and also our forward thinking because of our digital infrastructure, for example, M-Pesa. Yes.
Digital infrastructure, if you look at what we have, has the fastest internets in the world. Yes, you can log on as fast, I think top 10 in the world. So there's a lot that you can do here for outside. But also to your point, I think focusing on the right type of knowledge base, which we have a lot of people graduating from our school that can do a little bit of that work instead of just the house help on the other different level. Not talking about the other levels are not important enough, but at least being also very intentional about the talent that you export into the world.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe exporting them, they can work from here.
Yes.
Or they can physically go somewhere else. Yes.
Wow. And it's this kind of thinking that we need to let people within the right institutions know there are already people who think like this. There are already people who operate like this. There is technology that enables you to operate like that. And lastly, but definitely not least, the Kenyan infrastructure when it comes to digital connection already gives us, already leapfrogs us in terms of being able to get these jobs.
Yes. think about the opportunities we have. We have the people, a lot of people graduating. We have the processes that are very similar to other, British colonies or Americans in terms of how they process things. And we have the technology. We just need to make sure we're very intentional about it.
Okay.
Yes. Part of it is also, hey, how can we make sure we price ourselves right? How can we make sure we have the right work ethic to be able to survive in the global world? How can we make sure that we position ourselves intentionally short-term, long-term, and be very strategic about it? There are many things that can be done, and I'm foolproof. I come back and talk to my friends here, and I'm amazed at how much they know. I'm like, should be changing the world out there, But the thing is, they don't know that they're good enough. They don't know if other companies are looking at them as well.
You know what I say? You know what you know what you don't know.
Yes.
But lastly, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
The moment you begin to focus in this world where you don't know what you don't know, you begin to see opportunities of stuff that you know, and therefore you now eat into that pie.
Yes.
Majority of us are concentrating on the 2 slices of pizza of what you know and what you don't know. This conversation, I hope, is going to make young and old people understand the different opportunities that there are if we tap into this market. I want to go on with this story of yours, because this is a life-changing conversation we're going to have.
Yes.
Also, let me just add this last bit, because we also have the connections.
Yes.
What I mean by this, our president has sat down with the different heads of TikTok or in Meta, in Google.
Yes.
He sits down with them and has conversations. His ask just needs to be different.
Yes. Yes.
Ask for the monetization, which you should do, YouTube, Meta, Facebook, TikTok, but also ask for the different job opportunities and placements through this. Anyway,
because it takes one person or a couple of people to come back and catalyze the digital revolution in Kenya or in Africa, for that sake. Just one person, 2 people, 10 people, they go in there, work, and they're like, hey, it's a different world out there. You guys need to change, and this is the direction that you need.
Wow.
Yes.
You are making my insides boil. Wow. Okay, let's go on with your story.
Yes.
So now you're back at campus, but there's something you shared about campus when we're outside.
Yes.
And I want you to say it on camera.
Yeah, one of the things that you always have to be aware is make sure when you go to campus, it's not just about the class. Connect with people. Connect with your professors. The Uongozi opportunity came in through one of the professors. I went in, I saw a notice board, they were looking for people, and I was like, hey, let me go through the application process. There was also another, opportunity that came in for my wife to come into the States, which was a partnership between University of Nairobi and Kalamazoo College. I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity. And she was able to tap into that. Tap into what the professors are saying. We were in a class of 500 people after Professor Bahemuka, one of the sociologists, said, hey, I just came from Kalamazoo and I have this exchange program. I followed her. I was like, tell me more. And it ended up being, Penny ended up going, my wife ended up going to Kalamazoo College for an exchange program. So tap into the resources that you have. Connect with people. Listen to what they're doing. And then you never know. It's not just about class and get out. Go to the notice boards. It's really, really important that you tap into that.
Wow. Don't just go to class, your dorm, class, your dorm for the good students.
Yes.
Or class, your dorm, the club.
Yes.
Class, your dorm, the local.
Yes.
Class, your dorm, your local. Enter into the space where you don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
Because there you may find an opportunity for yourself.
Yes.
You've talked about the notice board. Listen to that.
Yeah, notice board. No one ever looked at that. People would be like, oh, okay, well, this guy is looking for some people. That's not me. A lot of people got PhD programs from that. A lot of people got opportunities to go to other countries for conferences. So you have to be intentional about making the connection yourself. It's not just about going to class and coming back again.
There are guys who are watching this who are finishing high school. I'm feeling so envious for them. You're giving them such nuggets. Or people who've started their first year. You've just changed somebody's destiny through sharing your life story.
Yes.
Where does your life go on from here?
So as I'm graduating University of Nairobi, and I'm also doing the gig with Arthur Anderson and the connection with UCLA, I already have a conduit to go to UCLA and finalize what I started and then start a life in the US. So that's the thing. At that point, I already know that I'm going. I graduate, I finish all my classes in July, by September I was out. I didn't even wait for Moi to award me the whatever. I graduated though.
Yes.
But I didn't wait for that ceremony itself. But you see what happens? At that point, I already have the comfort that I need. I just went to my parents and
And
said...
was this a scholarship?
It was a scholarship, yes, for Ford Foundation.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Okay, your story, they're always markers. I'm
Yes.
always finding, what's your next goal? What's your next goal?
Yes.
So by the time you are graduating, you've already set your next goal. And,
Yes.
and your next goal is not getting a job.
Yes, the next goal, because I had tarmacked when I was in campus. I was like, jobs ziko wapi? Where are opportunities? It was hard for me to get anywhere if I didn't have a connection, if I didn't speak the language.
Wow.
So I knew corporate Kenya was going to be good for me overall at some point, but it wasn't that time. First of all, they were looking for CPAK. You know, the first thing is an entry point. Ulienda shule gani? What primary? What grades did you get? And then can you come in and add value immediately, which was the CPAKs and the technical learning. If you did computer science, you got a job. If you did medicine, you got a job.
But you didn't do those.
I didn't do those. I ended up doing econ and socio. A lot of people were getting jobs in non-profit, which was good, but at the same time, limited opportunities.
So
Yes.
because of this exchange program that you entered,
Yes.
it meant that you already had a full scholarship
Yes.
to UCLA
Yes.
and the Ford Foundation for how many years?
No, so the entry level, they gave me $5,000 that time.
Okay.
So I had $5,000 in the pocket as a starting point for my life in the US.
And that was a lot for them.
But rent
Oh, yeah.
where I lived
Okay.
was about $1,800 a month. Or else you live with roommates, which we lived with roommates for a couple months with Penny when we
Okay.
first moved to the States.
Hey, the states transition, we're going to take it more smooth. So
Yes.
you graduate,
Yes.
you're having a conversation with your family and you're like, they already know you're out.
Yes, yes. So I actually told them, hey, Dad, by the way, I'm going to the States. I say, hey, you know, when is your flight? I say, it's October 9th. It's like, why did you book before we do Harambee? I was like, I don't need a Harambee at this point. I have the resources. It's like, no, it's good to bring people together to pray for you and make sure at least you set a good, you know, lift off to the world. So I was like, that's good. So my mom's church at that point actually came in. All the women were cooking, and we all sat in a hall, and there was prayer and there was fundraising. Out of that fundraising, again, this is a pivotal moment. At the airport, my dad gave me the money that was contributed. It was 70,000 Kenya shillings. I was like, out of all my people, you could only give me $700? Then I realized, Sirudi Embu, Mom, niombe, forward ever, I'll never go back. So there was a driving force to that point. I was like, let me get to a point where I can be able to help myself as much as possible.
There's something you need to say there. I don't want people to get it wrong. You're not dissing.
Yes.
You're just painting the reality.
Yes.
That from a Harambee,
Yes.
all that could be raised from a financial contribution was $700.
Was $700.
So you're beginning to,
Yes.
you're able to see the financial, like economic value of this region.
Yes, yes. And you're beginning to see, you know what, my rent on the other side, if it's a one-bedroom apartment on Venice Boulevard, kind of like West LA, was going to cost $1,800. So $700 wasn't going to be enough. So what do you do with $700? $700 is hardly enough for half a month. So you're like, hit the ground running, and you have to do other things to be able to survive.
Wait,
Yes.
don't fast forward. Hey,
Yes.
bro, the transition to states has to be taken slowly.
Yes.
It is life-changing and pivotal for very many people.
Yes.
But before that,
Yes.
we talked about bomb blast.
Yes.
The reason, a generation may not know this,
Yes.
that the reason why there was bomb blast
Yes.
is because the American embassy used to be in the CBD next to Cooperative.
Yes.
And it was bombed.
Yes.
That's what the target was
Yes.
by Osama and his people.
Yes.
So, you to get a visa to states, I want to hear that process.
So at that point, the embassy was moved to Mombasa Road. It was a temporary shelter at that point. It was difficult to get a visa at that. You'd wait, or like 1,000 people waiting outside in the entry, and they would come back crying, because it was difficult. You needed to get the right people into the country. So at that point, because I had the scholarship from Ford Foundation, I had the opportunity to at least show that attestation, and also show other things that I'd been able to do throughout campus from a leadership perspective. to attest that I would be a good citizen on the other side.
Wow.
So
wow.
that goes the preparation. Again, a redo in first year helped me get the focus that I needed to be able to actually make a good stride and a good case when I was leaving Kenya.
You guy,
Yes.
that is gold.
So what ended up being a failure at one point ended up being an advantage. Yes.
Because, let me say it, you didn't take your parents' bank statement.
I didn't take my parents' bank statement, yes, because they didn't have. Unfortunately, at that point, business was gone down.
So Nairobi University
Yes.
was the foundation that helped you get to transition to the next stage.
Yes.
Through the offerings that they did.
Yes.
Because you bothered
Yes.
to look for other things to do.
Yes.
Rather than just stay in your class.
Yes, yes. All the universities have partner programs, and they're looking for students like each one of us who goes there. All you have to do is just, hey, go in and ask the question. Ask the professor, hey, I'm interested in going to this. They'll tell you. It's a different generation altogether, but at least they'll share the information, because you get the information and you're like, what are you going to do with this? If people are not asking for it, you have to be hungry for it. Intentionality again. Na maombi.
Maombi.
Oh, na maombi, yes.
Say it in English. Usicheze na maombi.
Yes, I'm telling you, ni maombi pia. There's intentionality, but at the same time, the wisdom comes in based on kind of like your foundation and just believing. I also believe there's good in the world. And if I have a clear vision and I work hard again, God is going to pave the way. I never forget that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The day you entered the plane.
Yes.
What day is this?
October 9th. I forget. It was like a month after the bomb blast. That bomb blast happened 9/11. Oh, no.
It was a bomb after the World Trade Center.
Yeah, no. World Trade Center that time.
That means it's...
Yes. Yes. 9/11.
September
Yes.
11th,
Yes.
2001.
So a month after, that's when I get on a flight. Yes.
No, this 2001 or 2002?
2001.
Yes,
Yes, 2001. So it's about a month after.
So I finished
MBA.
the JQuat. I even got a job. That job I was describing, KCB, but I didn't pursue it. Then now I needed to do an office setup internship for the MBA. That's how I ended up in Centum in the office. Then I ended up in a department called real estate. It's part of the department that owns parking. Then there was Chris. There was Lawrence had left. There was Chris Ochieng was the boss. And then there was Zakaria Chira, an engineer. He was the guy in charge, the project manager.
Yes.
And then now Kevin Kamemba, who's the numbers person, very successful. And now there is Ken Mbae. So I go to the office.
And the office is in town?
In town at International.
International
So I used to
Life
go
House.
there, but when I used to go pick the parking thing and go. So I never used to spend time there. Now I'm required to be there on a permanent basis.
Okay. So what year is this that you start?
That's 2012, I think.
And you're doing this just as a way to do this. You asked for it so that you could graduate. Because you need this to graduate.
Yes. So I get to the office, I find Chira, Chris and Kevin. So we start working. Anyway, they knew me from the parking side. So we start working.
What does work look like in that?
Chira had all manner of work. He was a tough boss. So we started by doing research. So there's 2 rivers land that had been acquired. It needed to be fenced. So that was my work and Mboro to go to 2 rivers and make sure the fencing is complete.
What?
Yes.
2 rivers in its...
It was napier grass. There was nothing there.
Wow.
Yeah. And it had some people who were there. People were farming napier grass and other things there. So
illegally or squatters or...
No, legally.
Legally,
Yeah.
Okay.
So we finished the fencing. So I used to go to be there, go around. There was nothing.
So... there was no Rosalyn Riviera. It was just village market, and then there's... Yes, I remember.
After village market, nothing else then work.
In fact, I remember, I think there was Gringos. Was it Gringos?
Gringos, the Kaba.
Yes.
Yes, nothing else up to Ruaka, Delta, nothing. Even the bypass had not been built.
Wow. So, by the time you're joining this, they've already acquired that.
They have already acquired. So now it's when feasibilities, market studies are being done. Also, real estate has been set up as a department, but data needs to be, they need to file data. So I was doing everything. So first, we created a filing system with Zach. Zach created a filing system, then he asked me to populate. So for every file that is there, either it's an engineering file, there's a soft copy, and there's a hard copy of the engineering reports. If it's a market study report, there's the soft copy, hard copy, anything, all the correspondences. So I started doing that work, but I liked it.
So, for example, the engineer tells you what? Like,
so now, right now.
So, because you're not the one who's creating the data, you're being given a hard copy that you need to duplicate.
Yeah, so there is a, let's say there is the hydrological report.
Okay.
This is just a report to say there is water.
Yes.
So they have done studies, they have done inspection of site, they have put together the background of the water table, I don't know, aquifers.
Yes,
they
yes.
have ended up anyway demonstrating value for money and put together a report that says if you are to drill boreholes, it will be this point, that point, this point.
Yes, and this how much liters you can expect to get.
Yes, or a design, a survey report. A surveyor has checked all the beacons, done references.
Yes.
They have put together a report. The architect has done a concept. They're saying, given the site, given the sunrise, the sunset, this is how it would look like, a perspective from the north, east, south.
Yes.
They've put together these reports. Then there are correspondence on all manner of things, proposals. So I'm the one who was putting those together and filing them.
Just from that, were you being educated? Were you getting educated about
this
world?
I read each one of them to sufficient detail. I used to read them thoroughly and file because I needed to know. Remember, I have no background in real estate. So if a report is being asked for,
you need to know what to
I need to know which report it is. So I read them, and I know I was curious. I would read, and then is it Dubai Mall that had just been finished built? It was the largest mall. So YouTube was full of a lot of engineering work and design work from Middle East. So I would watch, connect, and understand. Then when there are meetings, I'm the one who was taking minutes. So some of the terms of design, architecture, I didn't know them. So I would leave a dash there or not write my own words, then go watch, then tomorrow I would come and do a public plaza, I don't know, a piazza, all manner of things. Then I was meant to do research to understand every single building in Nairobi.
No way.
That was my own initiative because you are appointing research firms to undertake research on behalf of us. So how do we verify that they went and what they are talking about, that their apartments, their shopping malls,
it's true.
It's true. So that was my work.
Hey, Ken. Let's move slowly here because my mind sees, like I'm very blown away by this conversation.
Yes.
My mind sees, it's like yours a bit, I'm seeing the third degree perspective.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, this is not what you went to study.
Yes.
So you are teaching yourself to teach yourself. I keep saying, majority of people spend time on YouTube watching entertainment over education.
Yeah.
You looked for a source to find the education to learn about the industry.
Yes.
So that's where you learned about this whole thing from Dubai.
Yeah, and I knew this story of biochemistry, had come to an end for me. I knew that one, but I needed something on the line of business. So now something
But
happens.
also another thing, what has happened, again, and sorry for interjecting, but also sorry, not sorry, because I don't want you to run over this quickly. This is what you are doing in the sports club.
Correct.
On steroids.
Yes, yes.
It's now that you've just been added more, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Bigger responsibilities.
Yeah. So now the research bit, I start doing research. When I joined Centum, there were 11 employees or thereabout. The cab used to use Kenatco as the taxi company. The bill was normally 20,000, 5,000. It was not much. People were driving. Very few people were taking cabs. Now me, I used to map out like restaurants, take a cab. Then is when this one General Madenge all these projects were coming up in Westerns. I would visit each one of them and write a simple report, a presentation.
This is your own initiative.
Just
Nobody
my
has
own
told you
initiative.
to do
No one
this.
has asked me. People have asked me, what's the market study? I've studied those Knight Frank reports. I've studied what is on the desktop. That I know. But you see, when there were department meetings where I used to go and Moria was there. But I would see James would ask questions, and if you answer, if it's something you can ask someone across the road and get the same answer, then your morning will not be very nice, I would see. So I never wanted to be asked and provide a pedestrian statement.
Oh my God.
So I started, it's ending somewhere. So I would visit all these projects. There isn't an apartment block that was built in 2012, 2013, even 2014 that I've not been into. There wasn't a shopping mall. That is when Two Rivers, TRM, Gariri, all these things were coming up. I'd gone to all of them. I would go take a letter of offer, promise the company I work for, they are interested. So I would know. Then people started teaching me how to sell.
Yes.
Meet sales people there. They teach you how to sell indirectly. Then they tell you, we are 80% sold. You probe further. You buy them lunch. Then you find out they are just 5% or 10% sold. But something happened. That month, the taxi bill came back at 120,000. Then it was a problem. Even the finance director, RISPA, needed to know who is this who has been on a tourism mode with our taxi service. So I was asked, what do you do with these cabs? And I generated a report that this is what happens this is what's happening in Westerns, this is what is happening in Upper Hill, this is what is happening in all these places, this is what is happening. So people started paying attention that to verify the market study, go to Ken.
Yeah.
That's one. So now I had to generate a report to justify why these cabs drop me home very late and why they are moving everywhere weekend, every time I'm moving. Then now, from my reading the reports and watching, there were project update meetings. So I would have all the engineers, the architects in these meetings. Me, I was just take notes. But I would start disputing, like where Centum, where Two Rivers, the water demand has been said to be, let's say, 3,000 cubic meters. These are 3 million liters per day. And the engineer would say, make an error, just say it's 4,000. Then I would say on page 6 of this report that was done by WSP, it says this much. Then I would say the power demand analyzed would say this much. Just provide numbers. So people started paying attention. How come? On behalf of who are you? So that's how I started getting noticed. Then everyone started giving me assignments. So I would get assignment from Zakaria, who was staff. I would get assignments from Chris Ochieng, who mentored us in a big way. I would get assignments from Kevin, but Kevin was an investment guy. He's in charge of businesses in Africa. So he would give me assignments now to do modeling. So I had to teach myself how to do financial modeling analysis. Anyway, Centum was a school. That's how I ended up now getting additional responsibility.
You guy, let me tell you, I am so blown away by this conversation. I think this is just absolutely incredible. Your mind, your understanding, your thing that you said, go up, above, and beyond. It's one thing to say it. Now you're showing it.
Yes.
There's something you talked about, the taxi bill.
Yeah.
It's very funny how the company has, actually not very funny, isn't it interesting how the company had an issue with the taxi bill on the basis of how much it costs. But the moment they understood what it was for,
Yes.
because you provided facts, the money wasn't an issue.
Yes.
In fact, they were very happy, I'm sure.
Yes. And then at this time we're being trained, the beauty with Centum, there were trainings every Friday on something. So at any given time, there is a leadership training. Then now I got confirmed, got a
After
better
how
job.
long?
After working for a year.
After a year.
Or
So
something.
in this internship time, you are earning basically
that year or so.
base pay.
Yeah. I never went to ask for anything. It's just one day Chris asked me, now Ken, you've been here, have we ever given you a letter? I said no. Then they gave me.
Ah, my God. This city is so good. Like, you know, your story is breaking the lies, okay, not the lies, the narrative that is there on how to progress in life, how to get jobs. You're talking about going up and above beyond. You're talking about you let your work show, you didn't go and ask. Does that make sense?
Yes, I've never
Your work
asked,
spoke, you've never.
I've never asked for a pay hike. My bosses know. I've never discussed money. They see what I do, they pay, or they give an adjustment. I've never woken up to go and ask for a pay hike.
Guy. What a different narrative. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. This one is heavy for me. This is such an incredible story. We're coming back in a few. Ponder this episode. In fact, don't even ponder. This episode needs to be shared with as many people as possible under the age of 35. Share it.